The decree comes down in a suit and a tie, a pen stroke in Geneva, a mother asking why. You froze the accounts, you cut off the wire, but the man in the palace is still warming by fire. Insulin running out on the third floor ward. The pharmacist shrugs, it's sanctioned, I'm sorry. A father walks 10 miles to find powdered milk, while the diplomat's daughter sips wine on the hill. You targeted an economy, you hit a family. You called it pressure, we called it calamity. The elites got their tunnels, their offshore accounts. The baker lost his savings, every dollar, every pound. And the palace still stands, the palace still feeds, but the market is empty and the child's still in need. The sanctions don't bleed the palace, they bleed the street. They bleed the mother, they bleed the heartbeat. You call it justice, we call it slow war. Tell me who's really suffering, tell me what for. Let's be honest about what sanctions really do. They're not designed for the dictator, they're designed for you. To turn the suffering of a people into leverage and shame, to make them beg their own government to end the pain. And but the ones at the top, they don't stand in the queue. They got back channels, black markets, and back rooms too. They eat the caviar, they drive the armored cars. They wave from the balcony while your people count the scars. I've seen the unvotes, I've read between the lines. Targeted measures, man, those are beautiful lies. You can't starve a regime out, you only starve the poor. History keeps proving this, you keep opening the door. The sanctions don't bleed the palace, they bleed the street. They bleed the mother, they bleed the heartbeat. You call it justice, we call it slow war. Tell me who's really suffering, tell me what for. This ain't about defending a flag or a throne. Every corrupt leader deserves to answer alone, but you don't get to punish millions for the sins of one man. You don't get to call that justice, I don't care what you plan. To the citizens watching this from the sanctioning side, your government acts in your name, open your eyes. The same working class pressure they put on our streets is the same machine that's grinding down your dreams. We are not your hammock, we never were. The enemy sits in boardrooms. Blood, blood. The sanctions don't bleed the palace, they bleed the street. They bleed the mother, they bleed the heartbeat. You call it justice, we call it slow war. Tell me who's really suffering, tell me what for. Not for the leader, not for the flag, for the child at the pharmacy, for the father with empty hands, for all of us, 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 for all of us.